Hi beautifuls, Hannah here from Reality Awareness. I'm going to do the ancestral, generational, family clearing because it's been massive in the others. I'm going to do a psychic reading as a collective, specifically around the generational, ancestral, family, lineage clearing that's currently going on the planet, that a lot of people are feeling, that are huge, and Stars is making his guest appearance climbing all over me, so bear with me while I share this, and then I'm going to do this psychic reading for us as a collective, on this topic. So Stars is, what's going on, boy? He just wants to be all sooky now as I choose to sit down and get ready and go live, of course. So bear with me. And whilst you're waiting for me to start this, I'm curious if you guys have been feeling and processing and going through huge generational, ancestral, family, lineage, big shifting out, for a lot of us. So I'll just share this and then I'll get into our reading on this topic. I'm excited to do it specifically on this. This is, came through really strongly, so here we are. Okay, so hello. Let me know where you're from around the world. Share to feed. Awesome. Perfect. Yay, now bring up your comments. Okay. Just taking a moment to load. Okay, so for those of you who are just joining, hi. My name is Hannah from Reality Awareness, and going to be doing this specific psychic reading for the collective on huge ancestral, well, it feels huge for a lot of people, ancestral, generational, and family clearing. This is a psychic reading specifically about this. We're going to do what's going on in the past, what's happening now with it, and how that affects your future moving forward. So I'm going to do 3 rows and then 3 rows down, so we can dive deep into it that way and have a look. Okay, so, and I'll use 3 different decks, of course. So huge structural change is going on as well, right? Obviously in the collective, in what else? Like the collective, the physical reality is changing. Duh. As collective consciousness awakens, increases, the structures are falling away because consciousness is light and dark, but it's ever expanding, it's ever evolving. That's why there's always why? Well, what about why? Why? Like the question of why, it comes back over and over again, right? And when we ask a question, it opens a portal, it opens and expands into the past, right? And moves into the future. It moves in through all different facets of reality, So when we're, taking the question, it's opening, When people say, I don't know, it closes down and contracts. When we say, there is a way. What is the way? It's a curious opening. And that allows spirit and our soul to show us the way. Now, we might not always know the way, right? When we first start asking this question, usually not. Yeah. But what's important is to stay open and know that we always receive an answer in some way, shape, or form, and it will come. Yeah. So let's have a look here. I've got one more row to pull here for this. So I just got the message as well, so I was getting interrupted with my thoughts. Ancestral, generational, family. So I said past, present, future. Past of what's going on with it, present, what's happening with it, and then future. But I also just got the message, ancestral, generational, family. I know they sound the same, but they are uniquely different, but the same, and they're all intricately connected and entwined, yeah? So let's have a look here. Okay. So, I am gonna talk specifically around ancestral. So ancestral, we've got time and tide, there's vegetarian and vegan, and then there's honesty. Ancestral. I'm getting this as like soul lineage, and this is what has been wiped from consciousness of society. That's ancestral. Generational, concoctomy, don't know how to pronounce that. It's seashell divination, so like using seashells as oracle cards basically. We've got third eye chakra. It's all about relationships and seeing the dynamics of the family situation right there. And then we've got fear. This is so interesting what's coming through. So this is generational, huge. Wait up, this is family. A vulnerability, open your heart. Solar plexus chakra, all about power. And then love. Interesting. Let's have a look at the overlying cards, and then I'm going to delve more into the three: ancestral, generational, what did I just say? Family. So overlying card, which is interesting. So when I'm talking about structures of reality and the expansion, this is honoring the masculine. Yeah, so this is the bottom card of the deck. I always look at the bottom card of the deck as like an overall sort of overarching message. So we've got honor the masculine. There's mediumship and freedom. Okay, this is exciting. So messages that are coming through about this. So as I said, time and tide, vegetarian, vegan, and the honesty. And this is ancestral. It's so interesting that the generational is fear. The family is here, is love. What's really like I just gotta say, the message that's coming through really strongly with the ancestral, and like I said, this is what's been wiped from our consciousness, okay? This is like what's been hidden under the freaking sand. Tartaria, mud flood, that stuff, right? What's been wiped from our consciousness? Very Atlantean energy. Very Atlantean energy, really. Like Atlantis, Lemuria, Tartaria stuff is that. By the way, because this, time and tide, oceanic spells and rituals. Now, I don't mean spells in a bad way. Like, as you know, our words are a spell. That's why it's called spelling. Who created spelling? Ah. How deep do you want to go with this? See, our voice was taken away. This is deep, guys. I didn't know this was going to come up. Okay, this is deep. I didn't know that I was going to do this, okay? Ancestral, generational is like only what we remember of our history that's been taught to us. Nobody freaking knows, because our voice was taken away We were buried, suppressed. We lived in perfect harmony with nature. We weren't killing each other for food. We walked with integrity. This is our true nature, our ancestral lineage. And what I'm talking about is our soul heritage, our consciousness soul heritage, our ancestral lineage. It was washed away. It's buried beneath the soil. That's big. And the spell was cast so that we wouldn't remember. Ancestral is deep in our true nature. Generational is what we've been taught. The shell divination and the wisdom of shells, third eye chakra, as I said, is all about relationship dynamics and deep in the, like family, karmic, or any relationship ultimately, but it's about seeing the truth in relationship. But it's been clouded by fear because of what we've been taught. It's almost like, and it's interesting, I chose 3 and 3, 9. History, information is forgotten after 3 generations. Interesting, right? Let's talk about the family row for a second. The vulnerability, it says, open your heart, allow yourself to be tender. Our family is our safe place, it's supposed to be, right? Open and be held in that space. We grow into our power in our family space, or we feel disempowered in that space. We heal and we're surrounded by love from our family, supposed to be. Some of us aren't. Now, I'm just going to pull another card for more information in the generational row for this one, right? Of course, it's like using seashells. Oh, so interesting that I'm using this deck even, right? Because this is mermaids and anything to do with the mermaids, when they really come into reality, it's about the subconscious. Yeah, you're willing and starting to go deep into the subconscious to unpick all of these, all of the subconscious stuff that's buried in there, right? So this card is the seashell divination. Like I said, it's like using oracle cards to learn things. And all I keep seeing is like what's stuck in the sand almost, like we pick up shells from the sand in a way. It's like what's stuck in the sand that we're pulling out. Does it come out easy, and is it tied in with love or fear? And I just feel like, because if we look at 3 generations back, like that society was very different to today, of course. But also with that, what is coming through is like, there was also a lot of fear implanted. Obviously, it's still rife today. But as a generational pass down, there's 3. It's like we've gone from like, it's like what's being stuck in the sand. What are we like pulling up? So let me just pull another card about that. Seashell divination. Okay, a card just jumped out. Freaking Atlantis. Okay, Atlantis. And that's where I mean, like, it's almost, our subconscious, all the memories got stuck in the subconscious when it sunk. Now, what I also mean by when it sunk is also that we got put to sleep. The consciousness got wiped. Start again, start fresh. That's so interesting. And look, here's the vision, see? We're told that everything that we see like that is not, like it's not real. The magic got taken away. It's so interesting that these first 2 cards from the generational and the ancestral, so ancestral and generational, is about the magic, is about, like finding the truth, basically. And the truth, third eye, realizing the truth, has been clouded by fear through the generational lineage, right? So it's like top top, bottom. So like 1, 2, 3 generations down, here we are. Now there's a lot of conscious light workers now, and there's more and more awakening for sure. And it's rattling the fear in the generational lineage that goes above. Right now, it's intensifying. And if you're going through like huge, like there's a massive recalibration. I'm turning a cog right now. Okay? There's a cog that's shifting reality, and we're shifting dimensions, and it's pulling the threads, and you might have even felt like threads are snapping, like just gone. All of a sudden, you're not going that way anymore. All of a sudden, you're going this way. It's just like that. You're like, wow. It's like you're free now. And this is where the suppression of that is not, it can't be there anymore. Can't suppress that anymore. Like ultimately, that's what it is. It's very blue, throat chakra, very connected to subconscious. Why? Because we're tapping in from going from head to heart. This is where I would say true reality exists. It's a more grounded place to be in the heart. Yeah? Okay, so interesting that, like I said, that is the overlying card, is honor the masculine. And this is, masculine always represents structures changing. Yeah, it's the structure of reality of changing. It's the structure of who's in charge of the world changing. The fear can, people are sort of looking at the fear. It's like, because when we look at the family lineage, the family aisle, so to speak, is the vulnerability, is the solar plexus. We're taking back our power, and it's full of love. Now, if this could ever be like obviously blood family, and if that's not available to you, it's tribe family, your soulmate friendships, your soulmate like-minded friendships, and you're healing, right? You're opening your heart, vulnerability, open your heart, allow yourself to be tender, hence, this is the heart's rising. It cannot be suppressed anymore. Yeah, back in December 2018 and January 2019, I kept saying, I'm like, Atlantis is rising, Lemuria is rising, like everybody could feel it. And that sort of October, November, December 2018 was horrid for so many people. And I kept saying in December, I was like, Atlantis is rising, Lemuria is rising. And what I meant is that the truth cannot be suppressed anymore. It was like a lid is lifted from when this happened, when this sunk, and the magic and everything disappeared, and all the stuff that got, wiped from our consciousness, like, and the literally like the wave came in a way, yeah. And when we look at the shift in consciousness, this is what's coming up now. Like, I think we're in 4, so we're coming up 4 years for Atlantis and Lemuria. When I said that, 4 is a stabilizing number. 3 years, number 3, we birth into a new reality. We have interdependence, and we become our own sovereign being. At the 4, we stabilize that. That's what we're stepping into now. And everybody can feel that shift. And so this is where we're feeling safe to open our heart, because we're coming out of our head and into our heart. The heart and number 4 is a very stabilizing number. And the heart's very stabilizing, very grounded. It's connected to the earth, heart of the earth. Yeah, the magic's coming back because the earth, the heart of humanity is returning and reawakening back to the truth. So we feel safe to open. Therefore, we take back our power. We come back into integrity, which is the full ancestral memories coming back and I want to say igniting and activating, yeah, through coming into that. And returning back to the love, returning back to the heart. That requires the structures to change, that our gifts are coming back. These are the original overlying cards. Our gifts are coming back of our psychic skills, of our awareness of self. Our consciousness is increasing. You're becoming more sensitive. You're awakening, and you're like almost past, you're past awakening. You're advancing your psychic skills now. Why? Because once this activates, you move fast with it, right? Especially once you move past this section, past the generational, and then you step back into the family. Like I said, whether it's tribe family or blood family, yeah, the structure changes, the structure of your reality totally shifts. You're not that person anymore. You're activating your higher psychic skills, and that brings forth pure freaking freedom. And that is the ancestral generational family reading. I felt really cool to do that. So thank you for being here and for watching, for listening. That was special. So if you guys want to increase your psychic skills, advance, understand ancestral generational family, how they intertwine, the levels of trauma through each of those, and if you can imagine like 3, 3, 3, it's like there's threads this way, there's threads this way, there's threads this way, there's threads this way, and this way, and then there's this way, and then there's this way. There's so many entanglements of energetic threads, and that's all intertwined with the intuition. Why? Because your body and your soul are not separate. They're here. You can't separate from them unless you die. Then your soul leaves your body. That's the only reason a person dies, is because your soul leaves your body, right? And so there's an intertwinement, an entanglement even, of your soul and your body. And when you have a spiritual awakening, it feels amazing because you're like, oh, the reconnection back to your soul. And then all the human stuff comes up. That never disappears, by the way. You just learn how to deal with it, how to master it, how to ride it. And as you go through the first hardest part of healing it and shifting it, understanding it, and your intuition and the connection and all of those things, the gaps in between get longer and longer and longer and longer. Yeah? Of like stuff coming up. Yeah? And we learn to move into a life we want rather than what we don't want. And we consciously create rather than our subconscious creating, which is that, you know, the generational, the generational compared to, I want to say family, because when I say family, like I said, you know, if your blood family's there, well, there. If that doesn't feel good, well, then it's the soul tribe family that you've created and attracted and lived through, right? And connect with, and they are your family. And from that space, you're surrounded by like-minded people who love you and you love them. And in that is the whole new reality, hence the new structure. Trust your intuition to become a certified intuitive healer. It's a 6-month training course that we go through next year. So our early bird is open now. It closes in just over 24 hours for the early bird. When this reopens for our enrollment for next year, it will be the full investment price. So I've popped the link in the title of this comment. So I'll also put it in the, I put it in the title of this live stream. I also put it in the comments. So early bird closes tomorrow. Now, when Trust Intuition is open, a Life Purpose Accelerator is open as well. And that's the working with me one-on-one for 12 months. You get access to Trust Intuition and all the things. It's my inner circle. So you get access to all the things, the certification, everything, you get lifetime access to. And then you also get 12 months working with me one-on-one. And I love my inner circle tribe. Let's just be real. My inner circle tribe. And it's so, on my phone's there. Yesterday, do you know, it's so interesting. Yesterday I haven't put it on my story yet. I'll put it on now when I get off. I usually have my other desk just here. And I've got a big like glass vase, like, but it's got a lid on it, and it was like half full of sand. It's my sage and Palo Santo like jar, right? And it was on my desk. And I'm doing my thing in my healing session with my client. And towards the end of her session, like I knocked the table and it bumped, and the thing just went whoop, off the edge, and glass smashed, and sand went everywhere, and Palo Santo and sage went freaking everywhere. And I was like, that is so significant. I was like, I think the healing is complete. Like glass smashing. So when you shift frequency and when you shift, you know, reality, like, you know, you've shifted when glass breaks, whether a bird flies into the window and smashes it, or you know, like for example, and this is very ear chakra consciousness, I talk deeply in the ear chakra consciousness about this. When we, like for example, if I'm doing the dishes, right, I always do the dishes every night, right, or whatever, maybe every morning, whatever. And you know, just doing the dishes, and then within a week all these glasses will break. They'll smash when I accidentally hit it on the dishwasher thing or something, or, and I don't do that usually, right, but in the space of a week all these glasses will break. I know I've shifted reality. And then it was interesting that that happened with my client, because I was like, I think the healing is complete, and it just felt so much bigger than just her. It felt collective, it felt whole thing, because the glass smashed, obviously. Sand went everywhere. Sand is the subconscious. Yeah, that's why working with sand is so powerful. That's why being at the ocean or being somewhere where there's sand and playing in the sand, moving sand, touching sand, sitting on sand, like let alone the earth frequencies that we receive from sand, especially at the beach, is very, very healing, resets our energetic frequency, brain waves, etc., etc. But also sand is so deeply connected to the subconscious and the memories that it holds. And I was just like, that is so significant, let alone it's the sage and Palo Santo. Like, hello. I was like, I'm pretty sure that it is really done. So I just thought it was amazing. So Life Purpose Accelerator, I've got 2 placements left. Send me a message if you would like details about that. We can chat and see if it's the right program for you. Obviously, you've got one-on-one contact with me via Telegram, and then there's distance healings. We do the video phone calls healings, which is what I was doing with my client yesterday. And yeah, you get access to all the trainings and stuff as well, of course. So send me a message if you'd like to talk about that. Trust Intuition there. The early bird closes tomorrow. So yeah, you're so welcome. It was amazing. You're so welcome. Thank you, Sabrina, Darren. Awesome. I love it. Oh yeah, this mermaid deck is amazing, right? I love this one. I love this so much. It's so deep and beautiful. So powerful. So powerful. All right, guys. Love you guys. See you soon.